What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Going Rogue podcast. Today, we have got Burger. I'm not going to fuck up your last name before we talk. But Burger, if you don't know who he is the guy that just dropped a either confirmed or potential world record open stone at the No Fame home games just last weekend. We are recording this on Monday, June 15th, so that game happened 2 days ago. Hopefully you guys will see this very, very soon, and that'll still be fresh. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the episode of who, what, when, why is Burger, we are going to cover our usual sponsorship stuff. So, number one, Anvil Strength is one of our pro sponsors for the Woodridge Highland Games. You can check them out on Instagram, on Facebook, all that stuff. You can follow Danny Autry or just look for Anvil Strength LLC. They're based out of Alaska, where Danny is, and he is donating all the proceeds from this marvelous shirt that you see before you to the Woodridge Games as well. So as long as we hit 100 shirt sales, you can also expect a Going Rogue swag pack, a Anvil Strength swag pack, and free entry to one of Going Rogue's games next year. If we hit 100, we're then going to pick someone who's followed the instructions on our pinned post, and that person is going to get all that stuff, along with just, frankly, what is a pretty dope shirt. So go check them out. Kilted Patriot is a nonprofit that was founded in the memory of Joel Sim. Joel was an active part of the Highland Games. We're hoping to get the founders of Kilted Patriot on here soon, so you guys can learn a little more about that. But they formed this nonprofit after Joel's passing, and they are looking to give back to the athletic experience of the Highland Games, which is very much in line with what I try to run the Going Rogue Games around. The reason that I'm still doing this podcast after several years, it's for the athletes. That is the part that I care about. I was going to say the most, but it's the part I care about, period. The rest of it ceases to exist, in my opinion, without us, or at least I sure wouldn't be interested in it. So go check out Kilted Patriot, check out Anvil Strength. I checked today, we have 5 spots left, I believe, in the women's class at the Battlefield Highland Games. The men's classes are full. We do have an alternate waiting list on there that if someone tells me they've dropped, I will gladly start rotating people up into the men's class. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Shoot me an email, shoot me a DM, something like that. If you want to sign up for the women's class, hurry up and get to it, because 5 spots left. It's a really cool venue with, honestly, just dope food and really cool vibes, and in a pretty neat area. It's in Fredericksburg, Virginia, only a little bit north of me. So, pretty sweet. And then, west of me, in September, is the Woodridge Farm Celtic Festival and Highland Games. So that is the big one. This is our 3rd year? Jesus Christ. 2nd year of the Blue Ridge Championships. I'm going to put out a leaderboard hopefully sometime this week so everybody can know where they're standing in terms of the leaderboard for the Blue Ridge. And then those invites will go out at the end of August for the championship flights, but we do still have some spaces left in the AM and Masters divisions. They are getting somewhat full, though, so I would definitely go check that out sooner rather than later. We get a very large influx of registrations that last month. Don't be one of those people that try and put it off till last month and then wonder why you didn't get in, because you're not getting in. I have too many irons in the fire to sit here and parse all that out. So if you want in, make sure that you get in. But without further ado, we're going to get to this episode, talk to Burger, see what has been with this meteoric rise, honestly. I pulled some numbers. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's pretty insane. So dude's dropping some bombs, and we're going to figure out what makes him tick. Thanks. And there it is. So we're now live. We are rolling. I made a joke in the intro that I don't know how to pronounce your last name, man. I'm reading it, and I could take a shot, but I was like, I don't want to get it wrong in the first 10 seconds of the episode. So please tell myself and the internet how you say your last name.
Okay, it's pronounced Lambrechts, but since I am an American citizen and I live amongst Americans, Lambrechts is fine.
Okay. Good. That's pretty close to what I was going to say. Not the first one, but the Americanized version is about on par.
Right.
So that's something I wanted to cover. You're originally from South Africa, right? Am I getting that right?
Yep. I came over for college.
Okay, so did you come over here specifically for college and to, I'm assuming, throw collegiately, probably at Nebraska if I was going to start putting together clues here? Is that
Yeah. Yeah. I came without a visit. I committed to UNL in 2016, 17. And then, yeah, I had did 5 years at Nebraska. I met my wife in college, and then I guess fast forward, here we are.
okay? So you came over here going on 10 years ago to throw in college. How old does that make you, if I'm doing my math right, which I never do?
27,
30,
about to be 28.
about to be 28. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And was your dad also involved in the games or in throwing? Is there some connection there that I've caught like in
Yeah,
passing?
yeah, so he's actually in the newer version of the Heavies, they made
Oh
another
yeah.
The Heavies movie. He
Okay.
got invited to I, I can't remember exactly how it happened, but around 2012, he got invited to a Highlander event where it's kind of, strongman combined, like it's got
Hmm.
stone lifting involved. He went to it. So he's an Olympic shot putter. Something I fell just short of. But so he was also obviously also pretty good with the stones, and they were like, "Oh, dang, he's pretty good." So he kept getting invited, but he didn't get into Highland Games until he was like 42, and he still did pretty good. I think yeah, I can't remember his placings at Worlds and stuff, but he did pretty good.
Yeah. So and you just hit me with a piece of knowledge I may not have known. A second heavy movie. So we're not talking about the Matt Vincent Dan McKim. Is there a
No,
second one that came after that?
that is the second one. That is the
Oh,
second one.
okay. Then what's the first one? What am I missing? I'm gonna have to write this down. What?
Yeah, there's an older
I didn't
one.
know there was
I can't remember. It's probably like the
a.
80s. I haven't.
Oh wow.
I think I've seen parts of it. It's uploaded in segments on some sort of YouTube.
Hmm.
It's not as well done as the new one. It's not
Yeah.
like a nice. I mean, maybe I'm just like expecting modern cinematography, but yeah, it's like
Yeah.
they actually it was a redo of that movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they probably had plenty of time to edit the new one, considering they like sat on it for like 5 years or something before they released it. So that doesn't hurt.
More. Yeah.
Yeah, it was it was forever, but that's still a great one. I haven't rewatched that yet this year. I probably need to. Every once in a while, I try to sit down and just go through that one time just for shits and giggles. But
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
came you came over here and threw collegiately. I'm assuming your whole college career. Did you only throw shot, or did you also like mess around with discus or other disciplines, or were you strict on it?
No, I did discus too. A little bit of track and field weight throw, which is like, kind of
Hmm.
hammer Olympic hammer style. I never actually did hammer
Yeah.
though, but yeah, I mean, I was most successful in the shot put, but I mean, I tried in discus. I think it's hard when you live in a state that snows most of the time. It's like you end up focusing more on the thing you can do better inside.
Hmm.
So yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because I was gonna be very shocked if there wasn't some sort of weights and discus in there, considering because I mean obviously everyone's talking about your stone throw right now. Because I put it in the intro
Yeah.
that you just went to. Uh, what were you at No Fame, right? I want to make sure that I'm getting it
Right.
all correct.
Yeah, no
You were
fame.
at home
Yeah,
games
and
and
it
you
was.
threw 64.5 inch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, which beat the old world record by 11 feet and a half inch, something like that. Or
11
11 inches,
inches.
sorry, not 11 feet,
Yeah.
11 inches. And yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's if you're saying Oldfield's record, the technically the pro Highland Games record. Although I argue there shouldn't be a pro or amateur record, there should just be a record. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, either way, I think it's probably like 8 inches or so on what Nick Kahanick did.
Okay, so it's past either of those, however you want to divvy it up, which is why it's a quote
Yeah,
unquote all time world record. Yeah, that's it.
right.
Dude, I have so many complaints with the way that we do, because why do we have amateur versus pro records outside of just for shits and giggles? Like, they're not world records. You can use them for, it's silly. Coupled with, why do we have spinning wob versus not spinning wob? And I don't know why
Yeah.
we're splitting these hairs. If I can throw it in the same flight, if I can throw standing all the way up to one height and then decide I want to spin for the rest of them like Eric Frazier does at all of his Masters games, I don't understand why those get recorded differently. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's a whole
This
other
might be a little
soapbox.
bit of a this might be a little bit of a hot take, but I think too many people want to have records.
Oh,
That's
I think
I
that's
swear I
100%
think
what
that's
it
the
is.
reason.
I mean, look at how we divvy up masters classes. Like, I think there is a good argument for weight reduction after a certain point. So I get dropping to a 42. I get dropping once you turn 60. But why on earth do we have them divided up every 5 years inside of that for
Is it
any reason
5?
other than yeah, oh yeah, because if you look at the actual class breakdowns, there's 40 to 45, 46 to
Oh wow.
50, 50 to 50, and like so on and so forth. So you can't convince me that that's for any other reason other than everyone wants a piece. Like
Yeah. I mean,
I
technically that is how they do it in track, but I feel like even in track that's too much divvying up. I don't know. I bet you
yeah,
could
like
argue that
I get the
it, oh yeah, you go ahead.
good.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-mm.
You could argue that master's classes. Maybe this is also maybe this will ruffle some more feathers, but you could argue that ruffles
Good. Let's start early.
that
Yeah.
that master's classes are a little bit more recreational in the way that like I mean not really that many people are watching all the master's classes. It's really for like people to be able to compete in a sport where you can compare yourself against other people, travel to places, really have a competitive atmosphere and but also a fun atmosphere. Like you could argue that like sure, like the more the merrier, you know, like why not have
Mm-hmm.
17 different classifications of competitors? Because like what does it really matter in the end? But like um I guess like to bring it back, like my and I've only been in it for a little bit now, but like I know that I annoyed a few people when I broke the Braemar world record on my like third games, and people were kind of like,
Yeah.
"Well, you know, that's the amateur record." It's like, well, shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
it just be the record? I don't know.
Yeah. As long as and Braemar is one of those funky things. I could almost see it because there's that weird thing where some organizations say a Braemar only has to weigh 20 pounds for AMs and has to weigh 22 for pros. It's kind of like the whole 16 versus 20 sheaf thing.
Yeah,
And so I could see them wanting to split it if you were at a game that only had a 20-pound Braemar. You know,
yeah,
then I can
absolutely,
see
yeah,
the need to split them. But if your AD takes it and gets it weighed and it's over 22 or whatever the pro minimum is, then you know I don't
yeah.
see what the issue is. But
What I've
I
learned is not to get attached to records. Like I just I
yeah,
think the
me too.
thing that
That's
kind
why I
of
have a
matters
feather.
more. Well, more
Yeah.
like I'm not. Yeah, that sounds bad. I meant more like it's not necessarily the thing I'm chasing. Like
Hmm.
my goal really is just like, well, it's developed into like. I mean, I'll be honest. I am aiming to win the world championships. Like it'd be kind of dumb for me not to aim for
Hmm.
that. Records are
Yeah.
cool along the way, but like, man, there's so many different stones. There's so many different shapes of weights. There's so many different surfaces. It's just like there's always going to be arguments about who deserves what. It's just like I think in Highland games and in a thing that like for now at least like doesn't have you know a governing federation. Like it's just kind of hard to keep track of records. Like it's cool. Like sure, like 64 feet. You know, it's that's pretty far to throw an open stone. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, doesn't really matter.
Yeah. No, and that's a outside of records because that's not a thing I've had to consider. But it kind of back to the whole weight divisions and all these stipulations and asterisks we put on everything. Because I do waffle between it because there are days where I go, well, it matters. So why are we watering it down because it matters? And then there are other days where I go, does it really matter though? Because we're not on ESPN. This sport isn't in the Olympics. Like I depending on what day of the week it is and which way the wind's
Yeah,
coming from, my opinion will change every time. I never firmly stay in one camp, and I'm sure it's very confusing.
right.
But it
Yeah,
it goes back
yeah.
and
I mean,
forth. So
my nerdy side, I'm a very much a nerd in the, and I'm sure a lot of us are, but like as far as like, man,
mhm.
watching all the rankings and like I'll go back as far as I can on those databases, even on Nazca, like what did people throw in this year? Like, oh man, that was crazy. Like I love comparing like data and numbers and stuff. So I kind of
Mhm.
wish we could, but like and that's kind of, I mean, Spencer Tyler, he's trying to start a new league where like it is comparable. Every weight is the
Mhm.
same. The reason we threw off a platform at No Fame was that's the goal is like every time it's off a platform just like that one.
Yeah, to
So,
standardize it. That was
right.
I'd be willing to bet. I've been trying to get Spencer on, and our schedules just have yet to sync. And he's like, "Yeah, because I'm
Oh,
trying to work on a thing," and I'd be willing to bet that trying to unify the sport is very likely the thing. If I was a betting
yeah.
man,
Well, maybe I'm giving
um,
away more than he's meant to share, but
hey, I
technically
think he's
this
willing
was
to
the
share it. I
first
just think
one.
we haven't had time to sync up. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, it's a cool idea if nothing else. Even if it's just an idea and a theory and a trial, like I mean, you gotta try it out and see if it sticks or not. So,
Yeah.
all right. So you gave away your long term plan here, which is to win worlds. But my follow up question
Hey,
is,
I'll put it out
which
there.
worlds? 'Cause, yeah, we've got 27 world championships. So we have just as many world championships as we have world records. Which do you have your eyes set on one or all? What is it like three kind of big ones? I think you have what Webster's Worlds, Crawford's Worlds, and Scottish Worlds.
Well, I
Maybe does
know
that sound right?
which one's Crawford because I know like IHDF used to be considered one, but they don't do
Yeah,
a Pro
and that's
Worlds
the one
anymore.
okay. Yeah, Crawford's is the one that was in Massachusetts last year, or Massachusetts or Maine, whichever. I get those states confused
No,
because they're
that
not
was
real.
wasn't that the Webster one? That's the one that's in Pleasanton this year.
Oh, it might be, but that's the one that Bill Crawford runs. So like Bill Crawford was there,
Oh,
so it might be called
yeah,
Webster's Worlds, and Crawford might run it.
right. Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
okay, that's where you're getting Okay, sure. Yeah, that's the same one. So
yeah,
I'm aiming for the one that's held in Pleasanton this year. I think a lot of the guys
yeah,
consider that probably the Worlds. Um,
yeah.
I'm sure I'll try
Have
to
you
go
gotten
to
your
the
invite
one in
secured
Scotland
yet? Has
sometime.
that
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Have you
I
gotten
am
your invite
invited.
to the one in Pleasanton? Yeah.
I will be there.
Good. Awesome.
Um,
What time of year is
man,
that one
it's
held?
gonna be hard though.
Um,
Oh, I under you kind
yeah.
of glitched out there. I didn't hear what you said.
Are you good? I was asking what time of year is Worlds this year? What's the date?
I believe it's like first weekend in September. Um, something
That
like
sounds
that.
right.
It's I always forget if it's Memorial Day or Labor Day that's the last one that ends the summer. I think it's that weekend.
I think it's I think it's Labor Day. Labor Day is typically that last weekend of August, first weekend of September, right there
Right.
in that little
So
pocket.
I I think it's that
Okay.
one. But yeah, I was trying to say
All
like,
right.
gosh, it's gonna be a tough, tough world. And it's just crazy. I mean, Vlad's better than ever. John's better than ever. Graham's
Yeah.
throwing bombs. It's just gonna be. I mean,
Yeah.
there's also. That's not the only people. I'm just saying, like, crazy. It's gonna be a crazy, crazy
No,
competition.
it's gonna be a good year. I haven't even actually stalked John's numbers all that much. I see the highlights that he's put up, but I'm gonna try and I'm
Oh
gonna do it right
gosh.
now while we're talking because that makes for a great podcast. Let's look at see what they've actually put up here so far, and it
Well,
looks
his
like,
better day is not on heavy athlete.
yeah.
He
Well, they
hit
need to get
like
on that.
I don't know. I mean, it's been a few weeks now, and it's on Highland Athlete. But I mean, I can tell
Yeah,
you, I remember the numbers.
yeah,
It's
yeah. If you got to memorize, hit me.
I mean, I think he hit like a 47 Braemar already. I want to say a 58
Mm-hmm.
open. He hit like 48 heavy, 89 light. His hammers
Mm-hmm.
are good now. Like really, like
Yeah, yeah. I'm
120
looking at,
heavy, 144 light.
yeah.
He's and then obviously he's friggin' going for world records on the wob. Just
Yeah, he definitely looked like he had the height on at least two, if not all of those pulls that he posted for the world record on that. And I saw that Vlad has already named the date of when he wants to throw the Wob world record. He said he's got it in the tank. He's just not going to take
I
shots
thought
at
he
it
did
yet.
it. I thought he did it like yesterday.
He did he? Am I behind the times?
I mean,
Maybe
he
yesterday was
posted
the
a
time that he
video.
picked.
He posted a
Let's see what we're
video
looking for.
in France, and it's the same place that I think 2017 Worlds was at. He didn't
Yeah.
put a height though. It's just like a
Oh
video of
yeah, it
him
does say new
going,
world record, but he doesn't name the height. I wonder.
and then someone in the
Huh.
comments, I don't know if they were there or not, but they said it was 19.6. So I don't know what's going on. It seems like maybe he's either broken it or about to.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Someone in the comments said 5.94 meters or 19.6. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, hey, big if true. But I mean, it's big either way. I've never thrown anything remotely close to being rumored to be 19 feet. So fair, fair enough to him. But yeah, no, it'll be a really good time at Worlds. I think having John come back. How was Spencer's day at home games? How was he throwing?
I mean, I don't want to speak for him. I think he wanted to throw further. He seemed a little disappointed with some of his distances. That being said, he went 90 on light, and then Scott Farr went 90. I don't know if you saw that, but it
Yeah,
was
I saw
three
that. That is
guys over
wild.
90 in one comp.
That's
That's not a World Championships.
I don't think people understand how wild that is because that reminded me of a conversation that Matt and I had years ago, and it was before like the Arnold Strongman Classic, and it was when Halfthor was peaked, Brian Shaw was, and like a couple other dudes, and we were like, this stage is going to have at least 4 to 5 guys pull over 1,000 pounds on a deadlift, and everyone's acting like that's the barrier. Every pull below 1,000 pounds is going to look unimpressive, and that's just stupid. And so having just a random, not random, I don't want to talk down about home games, but just having a competition in Massachusetts in early June, and you've got 3 dudes going over 90 feet in the lightweight is
Yeah,
just, it's
yeah.
bananas. I would be pissed to like throw a PR of like 82 feet and then
I
not
mean,
even crack
Graham went.
the top 3 that day, you know?
I think Graham went 86 to place fourth.
That's what I'm
What?
saying. Like an 86-foot lightweight being 4th place is stupid. Like
It is.
it's exciting
It's
as a fan of the
just.
sport. It's awesome. Coupled with, I mean, you've got John going over 90. I haven't seen Kyle Lilly post anything in a minute, but I mean, he's more than capable of it. That's what he's been gunning
Oh
for
yeah.
a while. So, like, I know if he can keep his knee healthy, like 90 plus is in the tank. I mean, theoretically, if you had the 3 of y'all from home games coupled with John and Kyle, like, I mean, having half the field at Worlds capable of throwing 90 plus in just the lightweight is bananas. And I mean, you're
Oh
talking
yeah.
about a large handful of guys that are at or just around 60 feet in open stone, you know, upper 40s to
Although
low 50s in heavyweight. But
I have to point out, uh, Spencer's not going to be at Worlds,
yeah,
which
yeah, I
I
hadn't
think he
heard anything
should
about
be
him.
there. But
Look, that's a question for Dr. Bill, not my
hey,
lowly podcast self.
I'm just little
Dude,
Berg over here. I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do. I would have wanted to see him there, but uh, hey,
I, I,
I don't make the
I
decisions.
wish there's several things I wish just from a fan perspective of the sport. And from a fan perspective, I wish the list was published when it got issued, right? Here are the people we're inviting. And I think as a
Yeah,
fan that would be really cool. And as an athlete, and not a world class athlete, but just as an athlete, I also wish we knew why. Like I wish there was a very clear path and some sort of logic. Like not to invalidate anyone that goes there. I just like to know why decisions are made. You know, like, hey, we got 8 people that earned a spot and 2 wild cards. Even if that was the extent of the explanation, like it would just be cool to know. You know, I've never been a fan of things happening behind a veil, but that's just my 2 cents. That's just what I
yeah,
like. You know, and look, if the answer
yeah.
is that someone pissed someone off, then like, cool. I'm fine with that. I'm not saying Spencer would, but in general, you know, I'd so
Yeah.
that's just
Again,
me.
I'm just
But
rookie Berg over here. I don't want to start drama.
yeah. I'm just
All I'm
gonna sit over
saying is
here
I
with
would
my two
love to
world
see him there.
records. Yeah, just gonna put my 2 world records in my tractor, and I'm gonna get out of here and just.
Right, exactly.
But, um. All right, so that's it. And to back way up, I assume, are you still living out like in Nebraska-ish area, like out Midwest, doing
Yep.
your
Yeah, it's
because
just
your day job is not Highland Games. Your day job is farming, right?
I wish. Yeah, no, it's farming.
Yeah.
We live an hour away from Lincoln, Nebraska. I work with my father-in-law. It's a sweet gig. I mean, I work
Yeah.
long hours, but then I also get to, if it rains or something, I get to go throw rocks in a field, and I have a field to throw rocks in right by my like literally in my yard. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining. It's a good, I like it.
Good. Um, so it, and this is the other thing I wanted to touch on. So you haven't been in the games long. From what I could see, it looks like there was a brief stint in like 2022, and
One
then,
games.
and I only checked heavy athlete. I didn't go digging
Yeah,
around and everything, but 2022. But then you came back around 2025, had a very brief stint, and then ended up going pro recently. And I
yeah.
mean, in that short period of time, not only did you throw a Braemar stone further than anyone ever has, whether people want to call it an all-time world record or an amateur world record, whatever, it's the furthest anyone has thrown a rock that big, and an open stone world record. But you've also gone, I mean, what, over 90 some odd feet in the lightweight and really good hammer numbers, good Braemar, good open stone, great weight over bar, good sheaf. And like what jumped out at me as opposed to the outright numbers was the jump between last year and this year. So I was curious as to like, has anything changed, or has it just been having a year's worth of reps under your belt? Because I mean, you've added 5 to 6 feet to your heavyweight, 12 feet to your lightweight, 6 feet to your heavy hammer. You know, so
I
like
think a
it
little
seems
more
like
than
all
that
those numbers
actually.
are climbing. Yeah, and and
Yeah.
and across the board. So I didn't have your hammer numbers from No Fame yet. So I was just going off of
Oh, right. Yeah, my
your last.
heavy I've improved about 10 from my first one last year. Yeah, I'll back up a little
Okay.
bit because I think technically lied on Jacob's podcast. Um, I didn't mean to, but so in 2017, okay, so obviously we've covered my dad being in Highland Games. So I've been
Mm-hmm.
wanting to do Highland Games for like 10 years. Um, I just was doing shot put. But so in 2017, my dad did a Highland Games, probably the first and last Highland Games in South Africa. We got Lauren Coulthard to come down. He actually had his honeymoon there. And it was my dad, me, and him, and we did more of an exhibition. I think we had like stones and like a weight with like a tiny caber that I didn't turn.
Mm-hmm.
um, and so that was kind of like technically, I guess, my first time doing it. But then 2022, I had a brief break from track, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna sign up. I'm just gonna go. Went to Holland, Michigan. It was their first one, which now I haven't been back, but I heard it's really good, still going strong. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I did one games there, and shout out to Eric Spence and Cam Newton. They they beat me on that day, but they were really helpful. And then fast forward again a few years, I tried to go to the Olympics in shot put. I broke my ankle in 2024.
Mm.
Then I kind of just like I thought I was gonna be done. I thought, oh, maybe I'll just sign up for a Highland Games here and there, just to have fun. And then like I couldn't just sign up and not like I got all invested in it again. But yeah, so I kind of started training like May 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean to answer your question, yeah, I'm sure it's probably just getting back into things, more reps under my belt, like I mean, something like the heavyweight for distance, like gosh, that thing, no matter how strong you are, like you just gotta learn the ways of how the weight moves, you know?
Yeah. No, 100%. That has been that is now the bane of my existence this year. It would seem last year it was lightweight, and then this year it's heavyweight, and it's just I can't find the time to keep everything as practiced as I want to, and something always has to give, and not practicing the heavyweight like shows. I mean, it just it'll spit you out. So, all right, well
Yeah.
that's yeah. I mean that tracks because it's not like from what I've seen from the training content that you post and looking through the comps and when their dates are, it's not like there's a massive jump at any point necessarily. Like it looks like you came in and everything is just trended upward and again across the board. So, um, are
Well,
there
I
any
must say, like,
other? So you,
I do research a lot. Like when I say I'm like a
mhm,
nerd, I'm also like I'm kind of like overly obsessed, I would say. Like I mean, I bought Dan McKim's book right away, and like I'm reading all the time. And like uh,
mhm,
another person, I mean, Dan has personally helped me with my hammers, but then also like my lightweight now would have been probably quite a bit
mhm,
less unless like because I went to Spencer's house. I spent a week at Spencer's
yeah,
house. He fed me, his wife fed me delicious food, and he taught me how to throw a weight for. And it's not like I had to pay him. Like he's just trying to help me out, help the community out. But so like I've had a lot of help. I'm also always researching. Like um, yeah, I'm not just like going out there and like you know, oh, let's try to figure it out. Like I am actively seeking like the best people to ever do its help. So
yeah. No, that's fantastic, and I mean it's a great thing for people listening to hear because I mean if you're not willing to try and do that, like you're you're gonna hit a wall. There's you have to be obsessive about it at some point in order to get better, especially past a certain point. So, no, that's awesome. Do you have, aside from Worlds, any games coming up on your calendar? Anything that you're looking forward to?
I'll be at Enum Claw. Um,
Okay.
and I understand that John will be there too, so I'm looking forward to meeting him. And then it'll be Worlds, and I'm hoping to go to Estes. I don't think they've sent out invites. If they have, I guess I'm not going to go. But from what I hear, I don't think they've sent out invites.
Okay. Well, sweet, dude. That I mean, that'll be a fairly light year. Is that something you're gonna try and keep going? Like just a half dozen games throughout the year? Is that kind of what your preferred method is, you think? Or are you gonna try and really like pack it full? Because you tend to see, both sides of that coin, especially at the pro ranks. You have some guys that are still throwing 10 plus games a year, and other guys are, 5 to 7.
Uh, it kind of works both ways. First, more than anything, it's just be like I can't be gone from my job on the farm too much. Combine that with I'm a dad now. Yeah, I want to be there for my wife and my kid. Um, and it seems to be the sweet spot is about 5, maybe 6. It's just and then it also does help me really dial it in for every games I'm going to.
Mm-hmm.
I very rarely feel underprepared to be at a games. Um, just because I'm like my stint now is going to be 6 weeks, and then after that's another 6 weeks to Worlds. Um, I just I'd say more than anything, it's I don't want to be gone from home too much.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I mean, if anyone gives you a hard time over that, they're a fucking idiot. So I don't see how rocks in a field could rank above that.
I say
Um,
that though, and
so
then probably a lot of if I get an invite to a cool place, it's gonna be hard to turn down. So I don't know. I
I
don't
hear
know.
you, but I mean, if your priorities are right and you get a invite to a cool place, then that's one invite to one cool place. There's
Yeah,
364 other days on the calendar. But
yeah.
you touched on it there for a second, and I'm curious, what does it prep for a game by someone who has come in 2 years taken 2 world records? What does that look like? Like, is there anything that you think you're doing really well, or that you try to do every time? Is there a set list that Berger takes with him to, because not many of your games are going to be near you, right? Out in Nebraska. I
No.
mean, I can't imagine too many of them are around the corner. So,
Well, uh, I'll answer that first, and then I'll get back to it. But the only one close to me is Langworthy's game, October 17th, which is
hmm
exactly when my daughter got born last year. And he and I last year I told him I'd be there, and it was 2 weeks before her due date, and he's like, "Dude, you're not gonna be there."
yeah.
And then I wasn't there, but now it's perpetually gonna be her birthday, so I just will never be able to go to the
Okay.
only one that's close to my house. But yeah. Anyway, the honestly, I don't feel like I still. It sounds funny, but like I still feel like I don't know if I could tell people how to do their stuff because I feel like I'm making it up
hmm
as I go. But I mean, I guess like to try and give you something to work with. I I don't know. I guess like I do a lot with. I heard John Van Buren was saying that, and I was like, okay, good. At least I'm kind of doing it the same way as like I'll try to work on the
hmm
stuff I'm bad at,
hmm
um, which is never fun. But I get that's where you make the most progress.
Yeah.
And then like if the thought that always gets me is like every event counts the same. Like I would so love to just be like, well, let me just throw the stone even further and like it'll just count for more. But like okay, it's like stones are over, like, good job, you got 1 point on the guy that got second. It's like, oh,
hmm
okay, well, world record or not, I got 1 point. So like
Yeah.
that remembering every training session, they're like, oh gosh, like man, I gotta be good at all of them, otherwise this is all for nothing. Um,
hmm
but yeah, I'll like if we look at like my lifting and stuff, like I'll back off lifting quite a bit the last probably 2 weeks before I want to throw really far. Um, and
Yeah.
I don't lift that much to begin with in season. Um, yeah, I mean, other than that, like I don't know. I don't really have a secret sauce. It's just kind of try to work on the stuff you're bad at.
Yeah, I mean, is it for day of prep? Is it for you? Is it nutrition? Is it fatigue management? Is it prehab, rehab? Is there anything like that that you're harping on, or does throwing 5 games a year kind of manage a lot of that for you? You know?
uh, I'd say I still get pretty fatigued from training. Uh, for,
Hmm.
and this is for me specifically. I've noticed that I'm quite a bit different from like teammates I've had in the past, where like I do really good on literally 2 weeks of doing very little. Um, I do really, really good on lots of rest. I'm willing to bet there's people out there that are also under rested for big games. Um,
Hmm.
so I mean, I would say I focus on that. I'm terrible with my nutrition. Like, I'll eat whatever I find that day and just go with it. Like, um, yeah, I mean, I guess that would be my answer is like rest more than you think you should. But then you have to have
Yeah.
worked pretty hard before that to make the rest justifiable, I guess.
Yeah, and that's probably a big part of it because I do think there's a lot of people out there that try and hit like, and maybe you're doing this and it just feels different because you've got a couple decades of some kind of training experience under your belt. But like I have found there's a nice little like a sweet spot where I don't want to be completely. I feel some sort of tension. I find that if I rest too long, everything just feels. I'll feel weak and shitty,
Yeah,
and that's never good.
it's
There's
a
a nice
yeah.
little
There's a sweet
yeah,
spot.
like yeah. If I'm so rested that I haven't touched something relatively heavy in a while, like if I feel like I couldn't go in the gym and put up XYZ numbers that same day, I get in my head and I feel like I can't go throw X, Y, and Z numbers. But
Yeah,
it's just an interesting little thing to play. And I was curious if there was some like secret South African technique that you were keeping from all of us, and I could get it out of you. But it was worth a shot.
yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I get weak, but like,
Yeah.
yeah. I just there's a point where you probably there's a point where strength needs to move into like throwing shape.
Hmm.
Um, and being strong gets you so far, but like, yeah, it's just everybody's got like their own sweet spot. I used to be a teammates with a guy that would max his squat like 2 days before he competes. It's like
Yeah.
that's the complete opposite from me. That's why I said I was like that's just what works for me is like I
Hmm.
just need a lot of rest. Um, and yeah, that's just I guess try to experiment maybe if you're trying to find that sweet spot like whatever you're doing, try maybe a little more of the other thing. If you're like more front loading or back loading your heavy lifts, like try the other way. Like you might surprise
Yeah.
yourself.
No, 100%. So you mentioned that you do a lot less lifting when it comes in season, and that strength needs to kind of transition over. So how does an in season, and this again could look very different with your job because I mean I've worked on several farms, and I mean sometimes you are busy as shit, and then like you said, you get a 2 or 3 day period where the weather is just so terrible that that's not happening. I mean, you're gonna have to play catch up with it, and it sucks, and it's a weird ebb and flow.
Yeah.
But like, how often are you throwing versus lifting right now? Like in whatever a training cycle looks for you, whether it's week by week or 10 days or however that comes. What's it? What do you got on your
Yeah.
plate right now?
So you're pretty accurate with that is I can't aim for like, oh, Tuesday and Thursday I do my lifts. Like sometimes I
Hmm.
don't train anything for like 4 days, but then I get like a day or two where like it's like uncapped. Like I can go out and throw for like 4 hours.
Hmm.
Sometimes I'm like overworked or under like it's just kind of hard. But like what I would in season I'd probably aim for like I don't know a day or two of lifting per week. And then that lifting is more of a like stimulus rather than like uh, strenuous work. And that's like if I'm
Hmm.
getting close to wanting to throw far, like I'll probably go back into a little bit of strength building now, like actually multiple sets of like probably up to 5 or 8 reps, like actually grinding it out, try to put some blood in
Hmm.
that muscle. But like if I'm just trying to like dial it in and get fast and explosive, it's man, it's probably like quick sets, like 3 or 4 sets of 3 or 4 reps on Olympic lifts, maybe some pressing, some sort of pressing, but also an explosive movement. Like I mean, there's many ways of doing like an explosive upper body
Yeah.
movement, like med balls or bands or whatever. But um, it really is just a stimulus to keep your muscles kind of uh, kind of like what you touch on, like from getting real weak, but like and also getting your fast twitch fibers to just start really
Hmm.
reacting. Um,
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay. Sweet. I mean that's really we've walked through everything I've written down and a little more, man. So one of the things I used to do a lot of, I know you've listened to quite a few episodes.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I used to ask everyone, and you've already had two hot takes, so I'm hoping there might be one more buried in there. If you could wave a magic wand and change something about the Highland Games tomorrow, whatever it would be,
I should have prepared for this
however
question.
impractical, yeah,
Hmm. And everybody says that, and I'm always like, "You idiot! Like you knew you were gonna go on that on that episode. Like you should have prepared and not look at me." Um, if I could change anything,
yeah, and I mean it
let's
could be
see.
something like Spencer's platforms. You know, we could standardize part of the game. We could increase exposure. We could decrease division amongst classes. It's what do you think would get us the most bang for our buck if we could just poof?
Well, I mean, the boring, it's not a hot take, but the boring answer is that we really do need a governing body.
Hmm.
Um, man, it seems like everybody's trying to pull in a different direction. Um, yeah, I don't know if I got anything juicier than that.
No, but here I will make your take potentially juicy, because from what I have seen with people who answer that question, or just having conversation with people, the camp that typically wants a governing body seems to be a lot of people like yourself, which are former collegiate athletes, right? And then the
Yeah,
camp that, or they came from some other sort of unified sport, right? That had
right.
some sort of governance. And then the camp of people who don't want that seem to be the people who came up and grew up solely on Highland games. And
Yeah.
and my question is, do you think that's just a simple difference in ideas and maybe I'm dramatic? Or is it one camp views the other camp as threatening and doesn't want to give them an inch because it's going to lose them all of their world records and their idols and all the little things they hold dear? Because I think personally that could be tinged with it. If I used to be the big fish in the little pond, and we now start
Yeah.
getting all of these world class athletes from other sports who go, yeah, I want to do this, but I want standards, I want rules, I want all of these things enforced and held to standard, and I I'm curious how much of that pushback is because people don't want to lose this thing that they've tied their identity to. Do you think I'm crazy for thinking that? That's how I'm going to make your take
Uh,
into something spicy.
yeah, I mean, I think there's room for both. Uh, it comes down to like I think collectively we would all like to see Highland Games be more known, more
Mm-hmm.
renowned, like more broadcasted. That those goals, I don't know how far they go without someone central. that's steering the ship. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but then like if you look at like track, right? Like there's plenty of that kind of stuff. Like track doesn't have lightweight divisions, but like there are masters divisions, and there's plenty of masters
Mm-hmm.
records in track that people also chase. And there's like, I mean, there's like state level masters track records. It's like
Yeah.
that's pretty similar to like just like our masters levels where it's like there's uh plenty of room for everybody. I think the goal of like getting Highland Games further seems to be constantly held back by like we don't have a central thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, no, and I think you hit the nail on the head with there is room for all of those things to exist, right? Because having a governing body over your pro classes and your festival games and all that stuff doesn't keep people from running backyarders and
right,
and hosting as many of those as they want or small games or any of that stuff. You know, you can have a governing body and choose not to be a part of it with every single thing you do. You can just use the framework and go do your own thing. I don't think that'll ever leave. But I wonder if people are, from an emotional standpoint, worried that it will. You know, they think you putting eggs into this basket is going to somehow take stuff out of theirs. So I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. It'll
I'll
probably
I'll
never happen in my lifetime, so it's fine.
I'll balance it out with I do enjoy the nicheness of Highland Games. I really do enjoy the community. Um, like track, like if you compare track with Highland Games, track's kind of soulless. Um, it's very serious. It's very lonely. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and we've got a good thing going here. I mean, we're all friends. Like everybody's working together. Like, I mean, you'll hardly ever run into a Highland Games that's not fun. Like people would just stop
Mm-hmm.
going
True.
there, you know? Um, there's plenty of track meets, believe me, that are not fun that people go to. So um, yeah, I mean, we gotta at least give ourselves credit for. I mean, hey, I haven't even. You're the one running games, so give yourself credit for like adding to the community where like a lot of other communities don't have them.
Yeah. Hey, that's fair. Two sides to every coin, you know? But
Yeah.
all right, dude. Well, hey, that's all I've got for you. I mean, everyone can find you what, Burger in Junior, something like that, on Instagram. Am
Yeah,
I
just
halfway right with that?
Burger JNR. Yeah.
J and R. That's where I was putting the N in there. Is in the middle. Yeah, Burger J and R on Instagram. Then go find you, follow you. Is there anything else you want to plug? You want to tell them to buy whatever it is you farm? I don't know. This is your 2 seconds to reach tens of people. You know, but
No, I'm not.
no, you
I
be
actually really don't want to sell anything to anybody in the games, but
fair
I don't know.
enough.
I guess I'd say I mean, I've been wanting to make it more known that like I'm trying to honor God through my Highland Games career. So like all of my success, I attribute it all to being saved and not living under my own burden. Um, yeah, I just feel like in track, I never really shared that I was a believer, and I just
Mhm.
I want to share that now. So if anybody ever does want to talk about that to me, then please do.
No, hey, that's awesome, man. That's way better than anything I would have plugged. So, fantastic note to go out, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man.